What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 6, Episode 8. So, Elizabeth and Andre. So, the aftermath of the fight on the boat. Elizabeth says, listen, I don't think that we should, go on this family reunion. If you guys remember, I may not have mentioned, the dad decided that, they were going to go to their family reunion. And even though in the midst of COVID, rather than everybody worrying about flying, they're going to get an RV and they're going to travel something like 14 hours to the family reunion. And Elizabeth is like, listen, in light of what happened down at the boat and the way they feel about you and all of that, I'm not going to subject myself and I'm not going to subject you to being on a damn RV with them for 14 hours. I'm not going to do that. Now, Andre feels a little bit differently. He says, listen, I just feel like right now is the best time for me to be politicking and trying to convince everybody that this is a great idea. I need to spend as much time with Chuck as I can. I really don't care about her brothers and sisters, but I do feel like I need to, get some alone time with the dad, or at least get some bro time with the dad. Now, Elizabeth was like, I mean, you really think this is what we need to do? And, he's kind of like, yeah, he's not pressing the issue, but he's kind of letting her know, this is kind of what I want to do. And so she ends up having a meeting with her two sisters and with her two sisters. One sister that sort of in the beginning seemed like she was trying to be a little bit neutral. And then the sister that she actually got into the altercation with. Again, it's a silly argument that I think is just could have been resolved had it been addressed a little bit differently. I feel like the sister was defending herself on why she popped up at that house. And Elizabeth was like, well, first of all, like, you popped up over at that house for a house that's not even ready to be on the market. Like, that's number one. Number two, they wasn't doing anything. They were sitting there, they were surveying the house. Like, you rolled up in there like Rambo. And then you were disrespectful to my husband. Like, all the names aren't necessary and so forth. Now, her sister brought up a good point and said, listen, you might be right that maybe I jumped the gun, but I see what he's trying to do. Like, I know what his goal is. His goal is to get in, and his goal is to take over my listings. Like, right now, yeah, okay, I might be it might be a little, premature, but I know that's what the ultimate goal is. I know that's what she wants to do. So, I know that's what he wants to do. So, she agrees to go on the family reunion trip, so I'm sure that's going to be a whole shit show that we're going to get next episode or the episode after that, child. But they didn't really resolve nothing. Like, there wasn't a whole lot that was resolved, okay? Angela and her husband. Listen, they still ain't really speaking. Angela said that they're hardly ever speaking at this. They're not even hardly speaking at this point, and that she knows that he's acting funny ever since this whole situation went down with the surgery and everything like that. She went to somebody to try to put a tracker on the man's phone, and she did talk to her doctors. And she's not, she's still smoking. She's still smoking. And the doctors are like, listen, you've got to stop smoking. Like, if nothing else, for your own health. But you're hurting the healing. Like, no, one, we can't do the back surgery. And two, you're stopping the healing that's going on in your body with the surgery that we did. Now, she's down like 60 pounds. So you can definitely see that she's lost some weight. And, and that's all good. So she realizes how serious the smoking situation is, and she goes to a hypnotist. She said, I really, truly have got to figure out, and I've got to stop smoking. So she goes to a hypnotist. And I guess we'll see if it worked. Now, I remember when Tammy Roman went to a hypnotist to stop smoking, and it ain't stopped her from smoking. She was smoking the next episode, child. But I think, I think a lot of it has to do with, that she said she felt like it worked. So I guess we'll see what the long-term effect is and situation is. Okay. That is what's going on down to the Angela and her husband, Michael. But we didn't hardly see Michael other than when she called Michael and told Michael she was tracking his phone and he got mad. I think he hung up on her. She hung up on him. But they was cussing and fussing at each other. Okay. It is not cute. It is not cute. Let me go ahead and get this whole Natalie situation out the way. This situation pissed me off so bad because this whole situation could have been resolved. Okay. I'm going to tell you what happened, and I'm going to tell you what could have happened. So it's the next morning. Natalie is not speaking to anybody now. Now, my biggest problem with Natalie is how she deals with issues. I cannot stand that, not speaking to somebody's shit. I don't like it. It irritates my soul. When you ask somebody a question and they ignore you and refuse to respond to you, that irritates my soul. And that's what she's doing to Natalie and Natalie's mother. So Natalie's mother offers her a scarf. Michael's mother offers her a scarf. And she's like, no, I don't want one. And she was like, well, damn, okay, fine. Like, I was trying to be nice because she looks like she knits her own scarves and stuff. So she goes out in the car and she's like, she said, I talked to my mother yesterday and my mother said not to speak to you. So Michael's mother is like, what the fuck? So she goes and she gets in the car. So Michael goes out there and Michael is like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're being rude to my mom and I'm not understanding it. Like, what is your problem? And she was like, first she wouldn't speak to him at all. And then she was like, you know, you defended your mother. Your mother was rude to me. And I talked to my mother and my mother said not to speak to somebody. And Michael was like, you keep insisting that my mother said something to you that she did not say. So then Michael's mother comes out there and says, what did I do? Please tell me what I did or said that to offend you. All Natalie had to say was, you called me a whore last night. You called me a whore. And I don't appreciate it. And then Michael's mom could have said, I didn't call you no hoe. What are you talking about? And then the conversation could have gotten started. But here's the problem. I'm going to rewind this. So then they end up, she sits in the car until it's time to get on the plane. They go all the way to the airport. She ain't speaking to nobody. She goes through security and leaves them standing on the other side of the security. And Michael is just done with it. And his mother told him, listen, I told you, just give her ass $5,000 and send her back to the damn Ukraine. I don't appreciate this at all, okay? Over it. Now, Natalie, be clear, Natalie is still holding on to the whole situation from the wedding. I ain't gonna say as she should, but she has the right to be upset about that. Now, as far as holding on to it, listen, you agreed to marry that man, so you knew you was marrying that man. You was marrying his wife. His mama. So you should have just been over it and got over it. Then they started getting into the conversation about his mom trying to push her into a job that she doesn't want, and it just went left. But at the very core of all of this, you were already mad at his mother when they got there. So it really didn't matter what his mother did or said. There was nothing she could do for you to be okay because you were mad at her and y'all had some unresolved issues. Then you didn't appreciate the fact that she was pushing a job on you that you don't want to do. I can understand and respect that. But the whole whore comment is what took it over the edge. But she didn't really call you a whore. Now, Michael, I'm going to rewind all the way back. When she first said your mother called me a whore, all you had to do was go to your mother and say, Mom, what did you just say to Natalie? Because Natalie feels like you just called her a whore. And then it could have been resolved in the moment. Now, let's be clear. Natalie was already ready to have an attitude, and it didn't really matter. Natalie was going to find a way to be mad. But that particular thing, Michael's mama ain't guilty of. She ain't called that girl no whore. Because here's the thing. Now it's the next day, and now you expect her to remember something she said a day ago it was really just a comment. I don't even know what she said that Natalie thought the woman said you're a whore. She asked her if she wants the stalks or something. And so at the end of the day, you could have avoided so much of this. Michael, you. But let's be clear. Natalie was ready to be mad. Natalie was ready to have an attitude. So to be honest with you, this was going to happen eventually. It just didn't have to happen this particular way. But it was going to happen. Anyway. So, Kalani and Andres. Not Andre. What's his name? I know I keep saying his name right. His name wrong. He's planning a romantic weekend for her. She says, I'm never romantic. I never do anything romantic. So I'm trying to plan something romantic for her. So he tells her he's planning a romantic weekend. And, so they end up taking a trip to the sex shop. Now, she says she's never been to a sex store. He's never been to the sex store. So they are excited about going to the sex store. And here's what I can appreciate. I can appreciate the fact that he was open. He frowned up his nose at stuff. He didn't turn his nose down at stuff that may not be traditionally, I mean, a lot of people, they get caught up in that whole, especially men. Oh no, I don't want that to touch me, no. He was here for all of it, okay? They had a good time at the sex shop. They played around with the different toys. They talked to the lady, and she talked to them about what they liked and what they were looking for and what kind of things they wanted to do. And they bought a toy for him. They bought a toy for her, and then they bought themselves a little paddle, honey. And she said, "Oh yes, I'm gonna use this on him." And he was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna use this on you." But they were excited. And it was fun to see them at the daggone the sex shop, right? So then they go to the getaway. They packed up and they drive in and they get to the place, and listen, it looks like it's a campground that has cabins. Now, I grew up camping, so I understand what I'm saying. I hope y'all do too. Little cabins, right? She said it reminds her when she was a Mormon. It reminds her when they used to go to Mormon camp, and she hated it then, and she hates it now. She was really ready to have an attitude and be mad. And he was like, well, damn, I can't win for losing. She told me she wants me to be romantic, and she wants us to be more intimate. I planned this whole weekend for us to be romantic, for us to be more... to be more, intimate, and she's got an attitude, and she's, turning her nose down at it. And all I'm gonna say is this, baby, he did the best he could with what he had, okay? He ain't, I know that for some of us, and that comes to the conversation. Let him have the weekend. And then either you show him what it is that you want, so the next time you plan a romantic weekend and y'all go to the spa or go to a nice hotel or whatever it is that you want to do, and then hopefully he'll understand that those are kinds of things that you like. But I will say she did recover quickly. She did end up recovering quickly, and they got into the moment. They had the kids and their mama, so they got a separate cabin for the kids and the mama. And then they went to their cabin, and he had it, decorated with flowers and champagne and everything. Now, let me say this. He must have got the honeymoon special, because when they first got there, they didn't know, he was literally just checking in. So it's not like he could have got there early and decorated the cabin, because we see them literally checking in and her asking, well, do y'all want a cabin close near each other? Do you want to be away from each other? Honey, he just sat there and told the lady at the front desk, we want the mother far, far, far away, because we're going to be having sex all weekend and we don't need her to hear it. I mean, where's the lie? So they get to the place, and again, she's cool with it. She's like, "Oh, you did this. This is nice. We got the." She even had him drinking champagne. I guess he don't drink alcohol, and baby, he took a big old swig and about threw it right back up, because when you don't drink, you can't. You got to take it slow. You got to take it slow. So, but they had a good weekend, and then they went for a walk and they went down to the horses and all of that. And so she said, after that car accident, I really realized that yes, we are having our problems, and yes, we have our rough patches, but I really love him, and I really don't want to think about my life without him. And so she was really, double second guessing the whole divorce situation. She said, and after this weekend, he really is making an effort. He really is trying. And so I feel like I should tell him that I went to see a lawyer, and that I went to see a lawyer about divorce. I don't know why you need to tell him shit. You ain't gonna do it. I don't know. Listen, maybe it's me, but I just feel like that's a need to know basis, and you didn't need to know. But that's just me. Anyway. So Brandon and Julia. Now remember, Brandon and Julia, Julia got some paperwork. She's got, like I said, it's not a visa, but it's more than what she already had. And they wanted to celebrate, and they wanted to celebrate the wedding. And Brandon told them, no, they don't want to have any sort of celebration. They had their wedding. That's it. That's all. Well, the mom was like, fine, and because we're having a 70th birthday party for your dad, maybe we could incorporate it. And they were like, no, we don't want to incorporate it. We don't want to do nothing. So then she was like, well, fine. I mean, can we at least maybe, have a toast for you guys? And they were like, maybe just a toast, but that's it. Now, Brandon thought that was cool. Julia told Brandon, I don't trust your mama. She's going to do more than that. I don't trust her. Well, they get there, and the mama done made a whole party. Half of the room is decorated for the dad for his 70th birthday, and the other half of the room is decorated for a wedding reception. And all of the people are there. And child, they even invited the guy that married them, and he said a special prayer for them, saying, listen, they didn't have the ceremony that we wanted, but I was there that day. They're in love. It was a beautiful ceremony, yada, yada, yada. Wishing you many, many more, many, many years, many more blessings. Now, Julia is instantly pissed. Instantly pissed. Instantly pissed. Brandon is pissed off as well. Here's my thing on this. I understand that it's about not respecting their wishes. I understand that you're upset because we told you what we didn't want and you did it anyway. I get that. But I also understand a mom and dad being proud of their son, being happy for their son. You guys didn't have the wedding that you wanted. You didn't have the day that you wanted. And them trying to give you guys something. So I get it and I understand, but I don't necessarily agree with the level of their response. I mean, it is just and it's not even like it was that deep of a party. Like, it didn't even look like it was a fun party, okay? I was like, y'all doing a lot. And so Julia convinces Brandon to actually leave the party. And Brandon's like, okay, the party is for, it's halfway for us. And Julia was like, I don't care. I told her I didn't want it. So I don't care about leaving because I told her I didn't want this party. And so Brandon goes to tell his mom that they're leaving because, she didn't respect their wishes. She didn't respect what it was that they wanted. And she's like, are you serious right now? Like, you're mad because I threw you a party? Like, you're upset because I threw you a party. Like, I don't believe this. Like, I don't believe that you're mad because I threw you a party. And I was like, girl, they mad because you threw them a party. So then, later on in the episode, child, they go to talk to their mom and dad because they end up leaving the party. So they go to talk to their mom and dad, to his mom and dad, and tell them that they're going to move out. And of course, his dad is going off. What? You've never paid a bill. You don't even know what the real world is like. You don't get it. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. I was like, why are you getting so mad because this man want to move out? First of all, you had to know that's what the plan was. Like, you couldn't possibly think that the two of them was going to live with y'all for forever. That's number one. Number two, Brandon is 28 years old. Why the fuck he ain't paid a bill? Like, at the very least, he should be paying y'all rent. The boy get up and go to work every day. Every day. Now, I understand that y'all do a little quid pro quo because he works on the farm and I guess maybe that's offsetting what he would pay you in rent or whatever. Okay, that's fine. But don't throw it in his face that he ain't never paid a bill if y'all ain't never made him pay a bill. Like, people leave. Like, there's two different types of people in this world. And Brandon, I feel like, would have lived there forever had he not married Julia. And that's not necessarily a bad thing for him to move out. But I have a bigger question. If Brandon worked every day and he doesn't pay any bills, how the fuck he don't have no money? Like, he should have had such a nest egg saved up that the minute Julia got there, he should have been ready to put down first month's, last month's rent on a nice apartment and keep it moving. Now, I know he got that little car. Looks like he has 2 cars. And I know he said he ran up a lot of his credit card bills and a lot of debt, dating Julia and the visa and all that. I get all of that. I get that. But what I don't understand is you are 28 years old. You work a 40-hour-a-week job. Look like you got a little decent job or whatever. I have no idea why you have no money. But let me stay out of other people's pockets because, hell, they might not like what's in my bank account, child. Let me move on. So, last but not least, we have Daniel and Tiffany. Daniel wants it's the holidays, and Daniel wants Tiffany to come to South Africa, and he wants her to stay there for like 2 months. Because I guess normally when she stays for like 2 or 3 months. Tiffany was like, I ain't trying to do that this time. I'm not trying to stay that long, because at this point, he need to show and tell. Like, I need to see if he is really serious about doing the right thing and being there for the kids and being a dad. I need to see if he's really working, if he's saving some money. You know, she said, and it ain't gonna take me 3 months to see that. And if I get over there and he ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, then I'm out. And that's it. It's a wrap. She was like, because I'm not gonna bring him over here, because once he's over here, then that's it. Like I'm stuck. You know, so I am, because you know her mother is like, girl, you don't need to go over there. And she was like, no, I do. I need to go, and I need to see if he really is trying. If he really is working. She said, I know that he doesn't have the potential to make as much money as I make. I get that. But I owe this to my kids to at least try, you know, and if he's working and he's trying and he's making forth the effort, then I'm going to meet him halfway. But other than that, man, child, so that's what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Drop it in those comments. Peace.